All right then, guys. All right. Let me, as always, gotta delete this because I don't need it anymore. And I think we're golden. Welcome, guys. Welcome to another stream here today. If you watch this later on when this gets uploaded, welcome to another video here today. Hope you guys are doing great and wonderful on this day. All right. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Today is Monday, start of the week. Actually, I read somewhere that start of the week is Sunday, which is interesting. I never ever thought of it that way. All right. Okay, so I got this out of the way. Let me put my chat up just in case anybody comes in. All right, so let's get started, shall we? In the last stream, we were working on getting the Skelly to be in a good place with throwing its bone, doing range attacks, right? So I did end up working on it a little bit since then, and now the Skelly can attack, throw the bone, and it does damage to me, or at least it does that, like the shader effect, which I'm about to show you guys right now. If I haven't messed with it more than I should have, let's try it out. Let's see how that. We're on the current scene. Let's get in here, shall we? There we go. All right, so let's go on top. We got Skelly on top. I did tweak its animations a little bit. I mean, it's Sprite, so it kind of looks a little bit better than it did before. But it is what it is for right now. And because it does that, it does an animation like he's throwing something, and then it throws the bone, which is great. Love that. And then it does damage to me. I'm still kind of tweaking like the speed of the projectile. I don't know, maybe I should make it a little bit faster, or maybe go slow and then boom, it goes fast, right? Like you actually seen it and it's about to come in and then it goes super fast. I think that'd be pretty sweet too. So it's a matter of just tweaking this a little bit better. I'm gonna need to tweak the logic a little bit, I guess, when it comes to him attacking. Like it's doing the job the way I want it to do, but it's not that great. Like right now, just going across him, and then it goes over to reach its destination, and then it comes back down a little bit to then attack. And then I don't know if I like that when it moves away further and then it comes back in. Now it's stuck in here right now for whatever reason. Is that walkable? No, it's not walkable, so I don't know. Actually, my something. Yeah, I can't walk anywhere here. Alright, let's get closer to him so we can get out of there. So yeah, it's just minor things like that I need to tweak it. I figure out why I'm not able to. It is worked before in the testing, I believe, right? I don't recall. The A star when I click anywhere. Right now everything's red and it shouldn't be. Something to look at later on. But yeah, anyways, we got the Skelly doing this thing. Need some minor tweaks to it to make it feel better or make it look better, I guess. Sorry, guys. Too early. Hopefully I have nothing in my eyes right now. Alright, so I was working on another character right now, or NPC I should say, and those are like the animals, and I'm still working on it right now. I was working a little bit last night, and that, let me actually open the sprite for that. I showed it before. So this is like one of the animals that I've added. Pretty simple 3 animation system here. Or a little squirrel over here. So I might plan to add that in here so we can start having at least animal logic in here as well. I think it'll be a good step to go to next right now. And I was working on it last night, so we can continue. We can go through that right now and see how that's gonna work. What was I doing yesterday? So what I wanted to do is that we're gonna, when one of these spawn, it's gonna try to go to a certain destination to pick up something and then comes back home. I think that'd be a pretty simple logic. So for like a squirrel, it can pick up a twig, which is what this class is gonna be doing. I should probably make this more generic though, instead of being twig, because I can pass in a prefab in here, and it could be anything. You know what? I probably should do that. Is there a way to rename this? Hold on, let's rename it now before. I gotta figure out where I put that at. Maybe it's in the other one. The other AI. Here we go. Let's rename this and make it pick. Let's do a pickup object, or split object for now. So now we have that. We then update this to be pickup object. So what's gonna do right now is gonna do the action. And actually not, let's just put it as prefab for right now, I guess. So if there's a prefab, it will spawn it. And if it is, if it's valid, then it will try to add it to the agent as a child, so it'll be attached to it, and then it will be walking back home. At least that's the plan. Let's put it as node for now. This is not a twig anymore, and just a node to D here. All right, that's where I left off. It's not done yet, so I mean, just like how I did it with the attacks, I'm gonna do the same thing for actions. So we can have stuff here where it's gonna be actions. Let's see, array of base actions. And base actions is basically just the base class, or what it extends from. I'm debating if I should make another class like I did with the tags right now. Nah, I think it's fine with how I have it. It's just one item anyway. If I ever do add more stuff into it, then you know what? Yeah, no, let's do it. Yeah, I just gotta figure out where it's at. Where should I put this in the tags? Okay. Cool. So let's create a new folder, a new script here, and this is gonna be actions. And just like tag is gonna be a resource. I'm just gonna name it actions for right now. Move this in here. And instead I'm gonna have that here, have actions here. Okay. Yeah, it should clean up by now. Then we have actions. And the reason why I did that is because I want to have some functions, and I would like to clean up the area from, I don't want to add into the agent script all the functions that I'm gonna add for actions, and I'll make it a little bit cleaner. We have a func get random action, and this could be just a base action for right now. And it's gonna be from 0, and action size -1, and then we return actions and then the random int. But there's one thing here that we gotta take account for, and that is what happens if this is empty. So if it's empty, can I return just the empty thing here, or can I return null? Yes, I can return null. Sweet. Alright, so if it's empty, return null. Otherwise, we pick a random one. Let me see where it can be a... I'd like to get like a current attack, or... I wonder if I think it should, right? if I were to have like a current action that I would like to set, and I set it, would this get saved? I guess one way to find out is to do it. Let's find out if it keeps it, if it remembers it. If I were to set this config and be able to retrieve it afterwards. So instead we can do like set random action instead of returning it. If it's empty, we can just do that. Like it doesn't need to return anything. And it just, if it's empty, just return this to null. We could have another function here to be like reset or something where we just set this to null. We could actually just call reset on top. And then we can have another function to get current action, which then this returns the base action and returns current action. That saves it from having it to be an agent, because I was doing the same thing for current attack. So I have like, hey, it's a random melee attack, all of that. So instead I could probably move this over to the script of attacks and clean this up a little bit. But that's only if it works. So that's only if it works. So we could get only functions we can do here is just let's see. We can get current action, which won't be too complicated. Oh no, it's base action. And return actions that, yeah, you can actually get it that way. I don't know if it'll be better. I thought about putting an underscore right in front of it makes it private. Okay, well, just keep it as a function. We get the current action, and then if anything, we can just set random action here. And it's just gonna be actions that set random action. And just two simple functions like that. Okay. Let's go into the pickup object class, script. We'll find it real quick. Pickup object. Actually, no. This is gonna be in the Limbo AI logic for it. Let me see. Go to load. Wait, I never saved the other one. No, I didn't save it. I created a tree for it. That's so dumb. Why didn't it let me close the editor last night without telling me that I needed to save it? Boo. Well, maybe I saved it somewhere else? No. Lame. I guess I'll have to redo it again. I created this behavior tree thing here last night. I was already all prepared for it. And I guess I never saved it, but it ended up letting me close the engine regardless of me not be able to save it. That's kind of dumb. Oh yeah. All right. I guess we'll just redo it again. We got a dynamic selector at the top. And we can have a sequence afterwards. I'm trying to remember what I had in here. I don't know why it ended up letting me close the engine, even though I never saved this. So what I want the little animals to do. So let's open this up, bro. So for example, for a squirrel, wherever any other animal's gonna be doing. So this is gonna be spawning, and it's gonna, at least for the squirrel. Let's talk about the squirrel first. Excuse me. So the squirrel's gonna spawn. It's gonna select a random tree that is gonna be its destination, and it's gonna walk toward that tree, and it's gonna pick up a twig and then go back home. It's just like simple logic to make the world a little bit alive. And it's gonna be different animals. For right now, I have this little squirrel over here. So that's what I'm planning to do here. So it's gonna spawn. Let me see what other actions I can make this bigger, because make that smaller for the time being. I barely can. You know what? Let's do that for right now, so that I can have more. I can see this area a little bit more. Okay. So the plan here is to get a node in group, and for right now it's gonna be the tree. It's gonna find a random tree and set into the target node and for the blackboard. Actually, you know what? We gotta set the blackboard here. Let's quick load and make this the blackboard. Sweet. So it's gonna set the tree and set into the blackboard for target. And I added this boolean flag last night, and that should be approachable, because trees could be, you know, all near each other, right? They're all together, so there might be a tree that might not be approachable. So I added this flag. If it needs to be approachable, then it will try to find one that is approachable. So that's why I added that flag there. So it finds a tree and sets it to target if it's not null. If it doesn't find one, this will fail. Okay. And let's move towards it, shall we? After finding a random. We'll move towards it. Hold on, no, you know what? Let's do something else. Hold on. We'll select a random pause from node. Let's make it like 8. I think 16 is too far, but we'll see how it looks like when we try it. So we can get the target and set it to a position. Let's set it to, actually it's not that one. Let's set it to patrol pause, and then we can move to that patrol pause afterwards. So this gets a target, sets it to target, and this will actually get a randomized position around that target within distance of 8 and 16, and sets it to patrol pause, and then sets it, and then after that I'll move to that patrol pause. And after reaching it, I need to, let's do a random wait, but between these two we have to do the action that I created. So I have to create a new task, which was do action. Actually, where is that do action? There it is. We'll do that do action here, which I was working on yesterday, and all I did was that. So that's where I left off. There we go. So in here we can get the agents. get action or get current action or something. Forgot what was the name of it. Action. We'll put a var action base action equals that. And then get the action and do the action. And passes the agent in here. I think it's just a node, so we can set as AI agents. And that's all I need to do. This base action will do this, but because it inherits from pickup twig or pickup object now, the do action will come in here, checks to see if it has a prefab, and if so, it spawns it and attaches it to the squirrel. And added these other functions in case there's an action that I need that has to have enter or exit. So I can then just add it in here in the BT action or the behavior tree. I don't need it for this specific one for the time being. So anyway, so it picks up the objects, set and does that, and then after that we'll go back to the backboard. We wait like 1 or 2 seconds, and then we'll move back home. Only problem that I have is that I never saved its starting position. I remember writing something that had a starting position in it. Yeah, so I'm trying to think about what would be a good way to set that starting position in a certain way. Now, what's going on with this song? Raises. Oh, what is the name of this song real quick? Let me see. Sector 1, Samus and piano. Interesting. I mean, does it sound chill? We'll leave it as this, I guess. We'll hopefully see what the next song is gonna be. Alright, so let's look into the agent real quick. So we can have spawn delay. Trying to figure out if we can actually set it like a starting position here for the behavior tree. Somewhere around here, because we have access to BT player here. Yeah, you know, let's try that. It doesn't matter if it's on delay or not. No, let's do a delay just in case. So we can do this, do a BT, assuming that the scroll has the agent script on it. I think it should. I don't know why it wouldn't. Because it has its own animation player. It has the A-star character, which needs the A-star to move around. Has animation tree player. I mean, unless there's an animal in the future, if I ever do implement it, and you can talk to animals in some way. Maybe it could be like you're petting a dog or something. Yeah. Actually, you know what? That's not bad. But I don't see why you shouldn't inherit from here or use the agent script. Let's see. I don't want to set. I want a blackboard. There we go. I mean, this is where I set it active. And I think it has to be in this format. And we'll pass just the global position on it. And this will be a starting position or whatever. Start position. I was debating why I do have a set start position here though. Oh, I do have one. But it's none of the list, and I guess I never added it. I kind of recalled adding it. So I was like, hey, I remember adding this before. Alright, never mind. I'll take this off. I just never added it into the actual behavior tree blackboard. Let's add it, shall we? Let's add a variable. Starting position. And it's a vector 2. Okay. There we go. So now that we have that, we can now move back home. Alrighty. And then we should have a starting position. There we go. Then we move back to starting position. And then it should despawn. And they should create actions that will actually just despawn this agent. So it's a new, I just call it despawn. And in here we can have fun. What was it? Tick. We're just gonna have. No, it should be fine. I was thinking, like, should I disable anything else before I call the global tool manager to despawn it? And it's just the agent scene path. There we go. And the actual agents. Cool. And then just return success. Let's go back to limbo. And then we should have a despawn somewhere. Here we go. And there we go. I think that kind of makes sense. So the squirrel spawns, grabs a random tree around that is approachable, sets it to the target, and then once it finds one, it uses the target, which is the tree. It finds a minimal position to around the tree, which within 8 and 16 of range, and sets it to patrol pause, which then I use the move task to move to that patrol pause. But the tolerance, let's make it 2, that's too far. And then we have, then does the action. In my case, we can rename it and say pick up object, I guess. We waited 2 seconds after it picks it up, and then it moves back home, and then despawns. Okay, so there's just one logic here. Let's go into here. I think that there's a bug in here. Is that every time I get a tree, I'm checking to see if this point is valid. But that tree position will never be valid because it's a tree and it's blocking the it's blocking the tile anyway. So it will always not be valid. So what I gotta do here, see what other functions I have in here. I mean, I could do this function, call this function, and see if it retrieves a path towards it. So I get the current position and then the target position. The problem is the logic of this one is gonna weird because it retrieves the path. If it's empty, that means that path was not valid. So we'll try to call this function again, or try to find a path with an offset. So the offset's here, and it keeps doing it and keeps adding the offset in here, but that's not gonna work. I should probably put a break in here somewhere. Hold on, let's put a break because this could be an infinite loop. I hate using infinite loops sometimes, but let's do a break counter here. Set it to int. Set that to 100. We're gonna stay in here in this loop as long as this is greater than 0. And every time we do something, we deduct it. So -1. But at least try it. We'll try it 100 times, and if we can't do it, then it just breaks out, and the path will be empty regardless. So, but anyways, yeah, this function is not going to work out for me. What I want is to get a tree and see if it's any surroundings is empty, and if it's approachable. I can create a function here. Let's do a function is point surroundings, point and surroundings, or surroundings valid. We should pass in the point as a vector 2. Let's just write it. Let me see if that's how I want to do it. So initially I want to do this, how I'm doing it here, getting this tile position. And then checking to see if that point is solid. So if point is, it's not solid, that means it's good, and returns true. Actually, if it goes all the way to the bottom, it will be false. If it keeps going, because the first one was not a good one, then we can check to see if we can get an offset here on all 4 sides. So we'll do a -1 here. But hold on. I don't think it's gonna. I just don't know which point to set it to afterwards. Hold on. Let's go into random group. So if it ends, if I call this function here, I still don't know what position I should set it to, or it's too vague. It gets position from the current minus. I guess that kind of makes sense though. I mean, the problem is that the tree is deep. Let's say the tree is in the center of the wilderness, and there's trees surrounding this tree. I feel like this is not going to work out. Because it just keeps offsetting until it finds a position, but doesn't mean that I can actually go in the tree. And this one right here is, I'm just checking its surroundings. Or at least one tile away. I don't know if I should go further. And honestly, the best way to know if this is walkable or not is to do this path. I mean, I know this tile pause will not, I mean, I'll just do it anyway. If it ends up being solid. Hold on, I'm just thinking right now, hold on. I might need to pass in that current position here. It only returns true if path is not empty, right? And it just continues to the next part. And I'm gonna have to do that for every connection I do, because I need a path, and if it doesn't find one, yeah, I think that's what I want to do. Okay, so I need to pass in like a current position here, so it doesn't cry on me. Vector 2, and then the other one will be target. And what I want to go to is the target here. And it doesn't know what this is, so that's why it's crying about it right now. And this is an array. Oh, vector 2. So if it's not empty, returns true. As long as there's a path to go to it. Yeah, that's what I would like to do. I just hope that this is not very cost effective on me calling the path to get an ID. That's the only thing I'm thinking about right now. Well, we'll see. We'll try it out. Something to think about right now. Let's see if that's gonna be cost effective or not. Alright, so it's not gonna be this position anymore. Wait a minute, hold on. Let's... Right now it returns this. It already uses local to map already, which is... Okay. I need to pass in the correct stuff here. The current position is fine. The target ends up being different now. So let's call it a new target. Vector 2, which equals a tile pause with this times 16, because that's how the tile size are. So I need to multiply it by 16, which, because then this converts it back to tile pause when it goes into this function. So I need to convert it to world pause first before passing it. I don't need it to do it in this one because it's using the world pause already on top. All right, I don't really like this that much, but let's do that. We'll check the surroundings. We're checking the left, we can check the right here, and then we can check and there's one more actually for negative y. All right, don't really like this that much at all right now, honestly. Okay, let's go back in here and we'll use this, and the current position will be the agent's position. Agent hold on. Am I able to access agent's goal position even though this is a node? Agent node 2D. I'll play it safe and let's do it. Let's call agents as node 2D. That'll be the current position. The target will be the global position of the tree. And I'll keep going till it finds somebody, or if it breaks out. After it checks for 100 times. If it breaks out, that means it fails. Otherwise, if it goes all the way to the bottom, that means it found somebody. It found a tree that you can traverse to. And it's success. So I already am seeing a bug here. Even if it finds a tree to traverse to. The way that I'm doing it here is it finds a tree and then it finds a random position. But what if only one direction it can actually approach it? Let's say you got the tree, the left side, top side, and the bottom side were blocked, but the only way to access it is on the right side. If we were to pick a random pause, that would not work. I'll leave it like that for now, but just something to think about right now. Because I know that's going to be a bug. I'll need to find a way to retrieve it somehow and then set it to the blackboard tree after it finds it. And then use that position. I think that would be the best option. But you know, you just leave it like that for now. If it's approachable, it loops and finds a tree that can be approachable, and if it finds one, it uses that. Okay. Cool. Cool. Actually, yeah. Alright, so let's create that. I don't have the actual squirrel implemented yet. Let's create the squirrel, shall we? Which scenes? NPCs. We got a hog, NPC, Skelly. Let's just duplicate one of these. I mean, kind of call this squirrels. Well, I stopped myself because I'm debating if, I guess it depends. Like, I don't want to have too many animals in here. I was thinking like, hey, should I name this a squirrel and then the next animal will be like the bunny and create notes for that, or should I create a generic one and then just set the sprite afterwards? I'll just create the squirrel for now. Let's make sure it works first. Squirrel TSN. Alright, so let's go in here. I don't think I have the sprite here just yet. Let's go to arts. Would it be under enemies? Wildlife? Oh, I only have hog. I might need to export it then. Yeah. Okay. Let's export that, shall we? Sure, it's fine. Edenville, I want game, assets, art, wildlife. And actually, I don't know why I say Aseprite here. The and it should just be squirrel. Alright, export. Really simple little guy. It has no arms, though, compared to this guy, so let's load. Just loading the squirrel. The squirrel only had let's get the animations in the correct place. It doesn't have 6 of them, it just has 1. And then he only has 3 sprites. And I'm getting a bunch of spam stuff here. Oh, it's because I see why. The animations that this is running on right now is going all the way to 6, so I need to tweak the animations here. Alright, let's go. No, let's do idle left, and it only has 1. We only have 1 in here, huh? Hold on, how do I want to handle this? I never flipped over the other the sprites. You know, for now I'll just leave it like that. I need to flip over the other animations and stuff, but it doesn't have this. It only goes from 0. There's no arms for this guy. It might be a shadow. I need to fix the shadow for all the NPCs. And that's it. It probably doesn't even need to be that far at all. No, just keep it for now. Leave it like that. And it's gonna be just really small. Or if, can I make it smaller? Alright, so it just stays like that. Same thing for idle rights. We'll just leave it at 0. Remove all that. Delete arms because it doesn't. I mean, it does have arms, but I'm not going to use it. And you can just delete this. It doesn't have any melee. It's just gonna move left and right, which is what I had. 0. And then, yeah. Doesn't have a third one, so. The shadow is fine, doesn't have arms, so delete those. And I'm gonna do the same thing here. That's what it is. 0 and 2. And no arms on this guy. So I have a. So if I delete that, the problem that I have with that is that it has this enhance node that was in there, but this only works for the Skelly or any other NPCs that have arms. So, and this will give me an error. This will spit out an error when I spawn it because it doesn't have a enhance node in that location here. So something is to keep that in mind. Okay, that's fine. And then we go back to here. What if I enable it back? Doesn't do anything? Oh, you know what? Let's go to animation, reset. Okay, there we go. Maybe it did fix itself. Cool. I don't think it's gonna have any health, but if it does, it's right here. I was trying to see where this is located at. It's in the, like in the center. Location, transform. Am I tripping? Oh, there it is. There you are. Why are you doing all the way up there, huh? I'll leave it there for now. I think that's it for now. Except for it's not looking left and right correctly. This up. I just want to see if this is working or not. You're not a skelly anymore. You're a squirrel. I need to change that behavior tree. Wait, I never saved it, huh? I want to save it before I forget. How do I save this? Alright, is this? There we go. Let's find where all those trees are at. There we go. Wildlife, I guess. NPC. Why doesn't it save here? Or maybe I need to save it through here. Oops. Yeah, I saved it. Oh no, there it is. Let's save it there. Yeah, replace it. There we go. So now that I have that, let's go back to the squirrel. And then be able to set it in here. Make sure it uses the correct one. Wildlife. Alright. So, oops. Now that I have that, actually, you can just spawn it in here, right? Let's copy the path. The spawner that I have here. We'll just make it a squirrel. It doesn't matter. I think if you have a path here, let's just use this that path. Spawns it, and let's see what's up. Let's see what's up. I expect errors, crashes. Hope not, but yep, I thought so. Oh, I never added to the pool. Never added the squirrel to the pool. Where's my pool manager? Oops, nope. I'm meant to add a new pool item. Well then, passing the squirrel. I just put 10. I don't know. Make that a squirrel. I got 10 of them in there. Let's go back to the scene. Let's test it out. And let's see. Oh wait, it doesn't matter. Right, let's go to, let's see, debugger, Limbo AI. Oh, you know what? I know what it is. So I added a group to be trees, but I never added the trees to be in that group. So let's go into getting the environments. Let's go through all these trees and let's add these into the node groups. I'll add a new one. I'll put a global. I'll put a tree in here. So, or did I make it lowercase? No, let's make it capitalize. I mean. So you are a tree. Save. Close. Do the same thing for you. You're a tree too. And then for the final tree, I'll do that. Let's double check the Limbo AI for this, and it's lowercase, so I need to make it capitalize that to a tree. Okay. Or at least I thought that was the issue, so let's find out. Are these trees tagged? That's one question. Yeah, this should be the trees. They're a tree. Okay. Let's go to the debugger. Find this little squirrel. Okay, so it's fading here right away. Alright, so let's go into that script and let's figure it out. Let's make it bigger, actually. And let's go to that script, get random in group, and let's figure it out. Let's see. Yeah, there's 1,161. That's the only problem with this. Get nodes in group, because he gets the ones that are not visible. Literally. Welcome to the stream, buddy. Welcome. So there's 1,161 trees, but they're not all visible. So I wish there was a function here, just like in Unity, you're able to call all those like objects, but only retrieve the ones that are visible. I mean, unless there is one and I don't know about it, but as of right now, I'm retrieving all of them. And this gets a random. So this retrieves it again. Gets a random int 882. Yeah. So as you can see, it will, even if I should probably set it to the size of this array, because at least it will try to get that much. Because I'm only checking 100 of them out of 1,161, so it's probably breaking. I need to find a better way to get those nodes and only retrieve the ones that are active. Because there's only like 5 out of the 1,000. Oh yeah, hold on. Okay, so I think that's one of the problems that I'm dealing with right now. Oh, give me a second. I'm trying to think what would be the best approach. I'm thinking of making a class, like either I think a game manager. I feel like a game manager shouldn't know anything about it, but we can just put it in there for now. Or you know, what we can do? Get these nodes, create a function in here. Function get visible nodes in group. And this is gonna return an array of node like it does already. what other ability do I have in here? You can filter. Actually, don't even know how this works. This filter thing. No, let me see. Does it have a? All right, so let's make this be here. Hold on. So we get this function, which then ends up being a node. Can you say node as node 2D? And just check to see if it's visible. Does this return a new? It does. So we'll set it to that and return this new node. Assuming that this will work. So this should only get me the nodes that are visible. So instead I should just do this and do that. Although if it fails, it tries to do it again. Actually, you can do it 3 times here, huh? Oh no, this finds node, my bad. My bad, my bad. It's not in here that I need to do it on, it's in here. Okay, so let's try it out now and see if that will work. Let me give me a second, guy. All right. Oh, it's super slow. Oh, I did not like that. Yeah. That's crazy. Can I see why? Hold on. Give me a second. Let's go back to the scripts. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, so now there's only 8 out of the 1,100 or whatever I had. Okay, so what's making this lag? Is it because of that thing that I mentioned earlier where I said it was actually might be lagging later? That's crazy if it is. So that keeps going. It says that it has to be approachable. So it goes in here. I get a position from it. I check to see that point is valid. If not, it checks its surroundings, which it is valid. Converts this back to world pause. Let me see what the target pause is. Yeah, sounds about right. And then I try to retrieve a path from it. Let's see if it will return empty. So it was empty. That's interesting that it was empty. Oh, if it doesn't have the point? Ah. Yeah, if you can see, the region on this is empty. Or is that the value? Excuse me. Let me see, A-star grid. Oh, there's region in here. Or does this need to be... I think this needs to be in tile coordinates. Yeah, because it's 17 negative 20, and the position here, has this always been a bug? Interesting. Okay. Well, let's try that. I think it needs to be in tile position. Oh, wrong one. Okay, there's a lag. All right, so it's actually moving now. Let's go. Actually, you know what? I never added a twig on this. This is my crash. Oh no, I did have an if statement to see if the prefab was valid, right? Oh, this could be behind the tree. Or where are you going? Okay, yeah, I never set current actions to anything. So it did crash anyway. Okay. But cool. So there's two things that I gotta think about here. One, the lag that is happening in that limbo AI here. So if it never finds anybody, this thing completely lags like crazy. Something to look at. And second is fixing this action thing. And actually adding the twig for it. So let's go to the squirrel again. And let's add some actions into it, shall we? You have no attacks, so you're empty. Let's do a new action. And in here, we create a new one. And it's going to be a pickup object, which then we create the twig here. You know, for now, since I don't have one, we'll do the skelly bone. We'll just pick up a bone. Where is that scene? Where do I have it? Is it under enemies? NPCs? Projectiles, yeah. So let's make it just spawn a bone for the time being. So that's one. One thing, I never set this either, so I may need to... I might have to create a new limbo task here that'll set random action. And all it's gonna do right here, let's do the tick agents that set random action. I think was the name of the function, and then it just returns success. Let's go into the agent. Let's double check that. Yep, that is the what I want to call. And succeeds. All right, so let's try that again. We'll make the squirrel move a little bit faster because it's a little bit slow. Speed of 5. Let's say this 210. I'll double his speed. Double its speed. Double its speed. Alright, there we go. Let's see if he gets spawns a skelly bone on him and then moves back. Oh no, I can't see him now. There he goes. Oh, whoops. Is it null? Okay. Like, oh, you know what? I never called it. Oh yeah. Actually, never called that node at all. What did I name it? Set random action. So right before he actually picks it up, we'll set the random action right before, and then I'll pick it up. Where are you going, huh? I'm just going here so we can see him. We'll see him. See him. Oh, he's going all the way down here. Oh, never mind. Wow, why did he went all around? He went all the way around. And now he's just stuck there. Is it trying to move there or is it just stuck? Let's see. Let's go to debugger. It's the limbo, yeah. It's weird though, he went all the way around just to do that. So it's trying to pick up an object, but it didn't do anything. It's on pickup object right now. Is it stuck? Maybe it didn't work. Hey, where'd he go? Oh, I'm the wrong one. Okay. Oh no, it's stuck here still on patrol pause. But why did it say that he went all the way down here though? No, I just want to know why this is green. So I was like, hey, why? But it's stuck in patrol pause. Why is it all the way on the top again? Alright, hold on, let's go back. Is it a solo project? Yes, I'm the only person working on this solo indie thing. Solo indie game dev, yeah. It is solo. Okay, let's see. No, let's replace these. I'll change the type to just be a regular sequence. And a regular, because this guy doesn't need to have it doing what the other guys are doing. The enemies. They need to be more of alert time. think that's one thing. The other one is maybe make this a lot smaller. Full time? No. It's I guess you could say initially started as a full-time indie game dev for the first like 3 or 4 months, but then money run out, so I had to find a side job for that. So not really full-time right now. Let's see. I'm hoping that that was one of the reasons. I made this a little bit smaller. It was stuck here for whatever reason. You know what? Let's increase that. Let's make it 4. Oops. I'll select a random amount and then do an action, which then waits 1 second after it does the action and moves back home. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, honestly, I would love to make this full-time though, but it all depends on money, because gotta put food on the table, you know. Alright, where are you going? Where are you going, my boy? I gotta figure out what it's actually doing here. You know what? Let's check this Limbo AI once again. Right now it's there. Oh hey, it used it here, but it didn't pick up the object though. I don't see it. Hold on, let's pause real quick. Let's go into remote. Let's go to the squirrel. Does it have anything attached to it? Let's see. Chunk tile map. Squirrel 10. Do you have anything attached to you? Don't. I'm assuming it probably didn't go into the action correctly. We can retry and see how that works. I'm actually 19. Got any tips regarding game development? Ooh, I think that's when I started doing development as well. At 19, I think. Yeah, because I graduated high school. I was in college already. So for me, in my experience, I learned a lot using Unity and using the C# in there, and be able to start working on small games, and actually start actually working on the games rather than just looking at tutorials at all times. Because if you just look at tutorials at all times and not do anything, then technically not really learning that much. It's better to actually do the actual game and learn as you go. So that's what I would say. Start working on projects, even if you don't know how to work on something specific or a specific game. You don't know how to do it, just do it, and you learn as you go. Just don't get stuck into tutorials and never do anything because you're trying to learn it. So learn as you go. Make small games like Pong and Unity. If it wasn't for Unity, I don't know where I'll be at, because that's where I started learning. I kind of was a little bit difficult for me at the beginning when I started learning programming, up until I started learning how to use Unity. And I don't know, C# was the way to go for me, and I started getting the grasp of it. So anything like that, Unity, or maybe Godot. Godot is also a great thing as well. As I've been using it, it's a lot of tutorials out there for that as well. So yeah, that's the tip that I would say is learn as you go. Even if you don't know how to do it, you learn as you go. It's better to do something than not do anything. Alright, so what was I at? So we were trying to figure out why the bone didn't spawn. So we'll keep it in here. Put a breakpoint there. Let's see where this little guy goes and wait for him to actually do something. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, definitely go. Godot is actually another great alternative as well. There's not a lot of things going on with Godot right now. Like when you download it compared to Unity, Unity is a huge engine which has a lot of things that you probably never gonna use. So Godot is a very it's small. So I definitely recommend Godot as well. And yeah, work on a small game like Pong and then build yourself from there. So what is this action? It's the pickup object? It is. So now there is a bone here. That's no prefab though. What does this have a prefab? But this one doesn't. Let's go in here and let's see what this does. Okay, so it's actually going here, spawning it, adds it to the node. Okay. Oh no, I pressed F5. F5 restarts it. I'm so used to pressing F5 all the time with Visual Studio. Oh, let's go back in here again. Oops, 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 oops. Hold on, let's pause it real quick. Though I still had the breakpoint there. Yeah, I don't want to trigger this breakpoint at all. Alright. Did he pick up the bone? No bone on him though. Where'd that bone go? It looked like it spawned it though. But where is it at? Yeah, there's nothing here. Where is this bone at? Skelly bone. None of them are active. Interesting. Oh, you know what? That can trigger it as well. I think I know what the problem is with the Skelly bone. If I go to the Skelly bone script, it has a lifetime on it, and that's the problem. Since I never set the lifetime, when it goes through the process, it will despawn right away. Okay. Another thing I could do in order to avoid that, just for the time being, just call it ready bool false. Oh yeah, the main menu. Yeah, I love the main menu too. I love that. I'm trying to change the main menu to something else as well. Let me see if I find it. Is it here? No, what's the name of it? What did I name it? This one here. Hold on, let me. I'm trying to do something with this, and where the island's gonna be animated a little bit in the water as well. but it's still not there. There's something about it that I don't know what it is, but maybe the clouds needs to look better. But I don't know. If I could get something out of this probably will be the updated title screen. But I do love the current title screen that it is right now. So I haven't really worried about it right at the moment. But anyways, if it's not ready, then just return. And then we only set it to ready once we set the data. And on despawn, we'll set it back to false. Scaling bone. So let's try it again. Let's see if the bone doesn't despawn this time. If that is what's happening. Let's see, scaling bone. Not ready. False, 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 false. Okay. Bow, welcome to the stream. I started with a small incremental game like Cookie Clicker, and I learned a lot more about math, which I didn't like before. Yeah, Cookie Clicker will be another small game to work on as well. Definitely agree. You can keep it as a secondary, like in Hollow Knight, where the main menu changes based on the achievement you make in game. I actually never played Hollow Knight, so I don't know how the title screen looks like. I may end up doing that, checking it out. Yeah, but that's a good idea though. Like you have two different title screens, and it can either change every time you open it up or at a certain time when you achieve something. So I'll think of that. I'll keep that in mind, literally. All right. Oh no, squirrel, where are you at? Oh, it's going back home, huh? I guess it didn't work. Let's see if at least it despawns. Yep, it despawned, but it didn't get the bone though. I guess Skelly Bone would be the right thing to do. And one way to find out is to remove that temporarily, the script, and see if that is the issue or is the parenting the problem. Yeah, she doesn't pick up the bone. Interesting. Something's going on with the pickup object. Either it's not going in here. I mean, we just went through the breakpoint through here, so I don't know why it doesn't actually do anything. I had that note to the child, so unless I have to use the other one, the reparent or whatever. Let's try that one instead and see how that works. Let's try it one last time and see how that looks. Yeah, I'm still a little sick. My nose gets clogged up right now. And it's not that great talking right now. Alright, let's see if it does anything this time. It didn't do anything. Interesting. Going to the squirrel. Yeah, I find that strange that it doesn't do anything here. Even though we saw it actually. And there's a skelly bone here. Or at least it's in here now. So what the problem is? What is the problem then? Ah, the position is all wrong. Is it wrong? Yeah. I mean, it is wrong. I don't know what I'm talking about. It should be back to 0. If anything. There it is. I see the bone right here. So if we unpause it, you can see the actual bone. And it's right there. Alright. So I'll reparent this. I guess we can just set the position back to 0, I guess. So there's give me a second right now. There is just one issue right now with this, is that the skelly bone won't despawn correctly. So I'm gonna have to keep track of that bone so that when the squirrel despawns right before I despawn the bone. Sorry, my nose is killing me right now. I think I'm gonna call it though, guys, because I only have 20 more minutes of the live stream and I can barely talk right now. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys for joining the stream. We'll continue this on Wednesday, same time, and hopefully I've touched it a little bit since then and we can go to the next thing to work on. Otherwise we'll continue where we left off today. So anyways, guys, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys, and I'll talk to you guys later. Signing out, guys. Signing out. Have a great day.